that article read, Young's wish of a millionaire. So if you look at this, you will see the headline. And as a result of this headline, we became a bit curious. I would like to indicate that this matter involving of national security, in which he stated in this article that I wish I was a millionaire, caused some stir and concern. And in this regard, our candidate, Mr. Garner, also had some interest. This article piqued his interest as well. And as a result, we decided to hold a news conference to address this matter with the media, because it is an area that, based on information and based on this particular article's headline, there is a big contradiction between what is here and what is in the public domain as public information. So at this point in time, I'd like to invite our candidate, Brother Darren Garner, who will address you at this time on this matter that appeared on page 5 of the Trinidad Guardian, dated Monday, August 3rd, 2020. So I invite my colleague and friend, Darren Garner, to address this issue.
Good evening, members of the media. As I read said article, it piqued my interest because I have before me some documents to prove contrary, and I need some clarification on said documents. Before me I have a deed of conveyance where Mr. Young's name appears among 3 others, and in said deed of conveyance, there are property to the value of $3 million. So some clarification is needed as to understand if this was a misprint with Mr. Young's name as it pertains to said property. We also have here dated, might I add, this document is dated July 22nd, 2010. So even before public life, Mr. Young would have been dabbling in such levels of wealth. We have here dated April 2011, Mr. Young received legal fees to the tune of $1.9 million. So, once again, I'm wondering if this is a misprint, because when you are representing, you need to be credible and trustworthy, and it was quite misleading to say that he wished he was a millionaire. And it troubled me to have this information and see him making that claim almost brought to tears, as it seems as though he felt he was being lied on and someone was attacking him. But we have documentation to say otherwise. Before me here, I have copies of 2 certified copies, one in 2016, one in 2018, for 2 Mercedes-Benz, both worth to the tune of 1.5 or more, one of which is still currently in the showroom, waiting to be sold on behalf of Mr. Young. So, as I traverse my constituency, people are complaining of his absenteeism, his lack of representation, and now I am questioning his credibility as he claimed in a newspaper article dated on the 3rd of August that he wished he was a millionaire. And documents before me proves otherwise. So I am wondering, is this linked to the brand of representation, your credibility, your ability to be trusted? Is it linked to your brand of representation? Because you would have told members of Portsmouth North St. Anne's West the first time around when you were elected that you would have represented them and give them the representation they deserve. That didn't happen. And now we are seeing a trend where you are making claims that are incorrect. And I have already shown the documentation to say that the people of Portsmouth North St. Anne's West, we deserve better. We deserve someone that would represent us and give us the representation we deserve. So, on August 10th, when you go to the polls, look for the rising sun, vote for Darren Garner. I pass on to Mr. Mark.
Alright, thank you very much, Darren Garner. I would also like to bring to your attention and to the media attention through this conference that you would have been aware that in 2012 the People's Partnership government successfully took legal action against Malcolm Jones, and one of his junior attorneys in defense of it would have been the Minister of National Security, Stuart Young. So from between the period 2012 to when the government took the decision, that is in Keith Christopher Rugby's administration, to discontinue that case against Malcolm Jones, which cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. As a junior attorney, Mr. Stuart Young would have also benefited to the tune of millions of dollars in this matter. So, like Mr. Darren Garner, we are not querying or questioning the source or sources of the Minister of National Security's wealth. What we are saying, and that is why we have called this press conference, is that why tell the population you wish to be a millionaire when the evidence that we have gathered thus far and continue to gather showed that the gentleman would have been a millionaire long before he entered office. So why mislead the country? You need to be truthful when you are dealing with people. And this is why we take umbrage, strong umbrage, to this attempt at misleading, to give the impression that, you see, I have been in office for 5 years and I'm a poor MP, I'm a poor minister. I did not get rich as a minister. I am not a millionaire. I wish to become a millionaire. Well, you know, there's a saying, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Mr. Stuart Young needs to tell the country why did he seek to mislead the population in this article when he knew otherwise. He knew he was already a multimillionaire when he said he wished to be a millionaire. He was already a multi-millionaire. So the question of trust and credibility in an election where you are seeking to get a mandate from the people of Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West for a second term, and you come with this kind of info. And up to now, members of media, we haven't seen any denial from the minister as it relates to this headline. And the story contained therein. So we can only conclude that what he said is true, and what is reflected here on page 5 is also true. So we ask Stuart Young, the Minister of National Security, outgoing, and the outgoing member of Port Spain North, St. Anne's West, to please come clean on these matters and tell the truth. So this is why we have sought to clear the air on this matter and to invite the media to understand what we are seeking to do in the context of providing the electorate of Port Spain North, St. Anne's West with a perspective on a candidate that is coming to them and seeking their franchise on Monday, the 10th of August, when that candidate cannot even begin to speak the truth. So members of the media, I'd like to pause at this time, and if there are any issues or questions surrounding what we have raised, we will be willing to clarify and to answer. So, do you have any questions you'd like to raise up?
There's one question from myself. You will have raised issue with the remarks he made in the article, and also represent some evidence here of assets you would have acquired before his entry to office. What would you say in response to someone who would say that, okay, he amassed this wealth over the course of his career prior to entering politics, but now he has distributed it to someone else at his behest and no longer has it? What would you say to that?
Well, I cannot speak for him acquiring and distributing. I have no evidence. What I have evidence on, and we have presented to you, is that one, in the off commission, which started in 2011 and ended sometime in in fact, the off commission was under Patrick Manning, and that would have been sometime in 2008 or 2009. It ended later on in 2011. Alone, according to the evidence, he collected close to $1.9 million in legal fees. That was in 2011. Okay? So you can't come in August of 2020 and say you wish to be a millionaire. You got $1.9 million in legal fees. And that was in 2011 or thereabouts. In addition, member of the media, I brought to your attention Petrotrin and Malcolm Jones, he being the junior counsel. Millions of dollars were paid out. The government discontinued the claim, but yet still didn't discontinue the payment of legal fees to the attorneys. And this minister, outgoing minister, he was the junior attorney representing Malcolm Jones. So he got some millions. I don't know how many millions. I don't have the evidence. All I know, it cost the country millions of dollars in this particular case. And then we have evidence here with the Mercedes-Benz. A Mercedes-Benz is easily 1.5 million to start off. And then we have a document on a deed of conveyance involving 3 million. All we are saying is speak the truth. Speak the truth. And you cannot tell us that you came into politics in 2015 and because of attacks on your good name by whoever, had you remained in private practice, you'd have been richer. That is your claim. We are saying, when you tour the country, you wish to be a millionaire, meaning you are not a millionaire. That is what this means. You are not a millionaire. You were not telling the country the truth. You are a millionaire. You have been a millionaire since 2010, based on this deal. And during the period 2011 to the present time, you also accumulated millions of dollars. Just remember, we told you, he is the founding father of Synergy Television. He is a director and a shareholder, we understand. He hasn't denied that. And then he's also an owner, shareholder, maybe director, or combination of all, according to what we have been advised, of a farm called Sprout Farms. These things were only established during the era and period of the Rowley administration, that is 2015 to 2020. So even though he may not have liquid cash, I can tell you in terms of assets, he's rich. And he's not, and we will not accept that falsity and that false claim by him that he's not a millionaire. So I can't speak to him accumulated and distributed and therefore he's poor or claiming to be poor. That's a matter for the police to investigate if they wish to do that. All we are doing today is bringing to your attention a falsity, a false claim, a literal fabrication, spewing an untruth to the population that he wished he would have been a millionaire. When he knew, when he made that statement, he is a millionaire in this country. That is all we are saying. Any other further question, my brother, you'd like to raise?
Well, not for you, but Mr. Garner, I don't know if you have been asked this in the past, but you know, elections only a matter of days away at this point. What are some of the major issues you'd like to address, either long term or short term, in the Porter-Spring North St. John's First Constituency if you like to?
Some of the major issues I would like to address are the youth and the infrastructure development within Porter-Spring North St. John's West. As I go through the entire constituency, the constituency comprises of a lot of what we refer to as depressed areas, which will be Belmont, Gonzales, somewhat Cascade and St. Anne's. While they may have developed areas, there are a lot of areas that are neglected, like Hutton Road, Local Terrace, and most of the youth complain of being qualified and not being given the opportunity to be absorbed into the system as it pertains to jobs. That is something I'd like to address. The creation of community centers that will be the home for development programs and community building is one of the things I would like to implement. And when we go through to the areas of Gonzales and Belmont, a lot of the people complain that, not limited to those areas, throughout the entire constituency, they complain of the brand of representation that they would have received. They would have only saw incumbent when he came for their votes. I currently do not believe in said brand, and I want to change the brand of representation that my constituency would receive. They should be able to have consultations with myself on a regular basis, so they will be able to share their concerns and I will be able to attend to them on a more expeditious manner. The roadway network is terrible. That's one of the major issues also that needs to be addressed as we traverse this constituency. It seems as though there is total neglect for many, many years, and apart from Mr. Young's representation, the party that forms the current government, held that seat for many elections, in many cabinets, many MPs, and nothing occurred in those areas. So I'm urging the people of Huddersfield North St. Anne's West to try something different if they want a change. The only way you get a change is when you try something differently. And the representation that you deserve will be the representation you'll receive.
All right, well, members of the media, I'd like to thank you all for coming to this conference this afternoon, and we look forward to communicating with you in the not too distant future. So thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you.